Hey guys, this is Daniel,
And Matthew, and
and
we
we
are
are that
that
damn
damn brand.
Brent. Okay,
Pretty good.
well, so today is the 7th, August 7th. We have a new podcast for you guys, which first time that the podcast will be going on Spotify directly after.
What?
Yeah, we
Like,
recently got on Spotify and we're doing an audio version of the podcast as well. So if you don't want to look at our ugly faces, you can go to
hey, I
Spotify and
resent that. You don't want to look
none.
at his ugly face. I have this mug. This brings in the views. Anyway, yeah, maybe we'll throw in a little extra Spotify minute or two at the end or something. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Give them incentive to listen on Spotify, or if
Yeah.
you prefer, the Yub Tubs traditional way.
So our first topic is the one that's been rallying a lot of people. The pitchforks are coming out. It's Marvel. They announced their exclusive deals with Sony and
Regarding the Avengers
the
game,
Avengers game. Yes, regarding the Avengers game, you were correct. It sounds like Spider-Man will be exclusive to the PlayStation platforms in 2021, along with every single post launch character getting exclusive emotes and costumes that are for PlayStation for 30 days. And then each actually launch character, same thing. They have exclusive emotes and costumes for 30 days. I have read or heard somewhere that there's is going to be some like instances in the world that are exclusive to PlayStation, but I couldn't find that in the article that I read, so it may have just been hyperbole. But I don't, I just want to throw that out there. That may be a possibility as well. I don't know. Uh, what do you think, Matt?
well, I mean, we discussed this briefly off the podcast, off recording, but basically, I lately these companies have been doing a better job, I will say, of trying to come together as kind of like to unite gamers in a way with like cross-platform play. It's coming to Apex Legends, which has been big, on PC and all the other platforms it launched on. Obviously, Fortnite, it's crossplay for fucking everything, or even your phone. I mean, but Sony was the holdout the entire time, and they're being, this is a way of diverting that togetherness, that sense of community, just, we're all gamers type mantra that I feel that a lot of companies were trying to build towards. Sony is basically going like this, you know what I mean? And so
For
like
you audio
I
listeners, he showed his middle finger.
yeah, exactly. They don't get the same experience.
Yeah.
But so I feel like it's a big middle finger to, all this big community that has been, the gaming community has been trying to come together and forge around the idea that we're all gamers, and Sony gives them the middle finger. And it's like, I don't really care about Spider-Man, honestly, but if they're gonna have exclusive characters, that's still kind of a ripoff to the people that paid money for the game, and they're not even getting technically the full game.
Right.
And if the thing about hyperbole that you said, where there's like specific PlayStation instances or levels or whatever, like that's garbage in today's gaming landscape. I feel like that's complete and utter garbage. Um, I could care less so much maybe about the emotes or well, you know me, I'm a fan of costumes. I would
Yeah.
probably want the costumes, but emotes like How about
All
you?
right. So I feel it's kind of bullshit to be on that level. Spider-Man, before anyone comments that Spider-Man's rights to like are not owned by Sony. They only own the film rights, so no one can say Sony owns him. Uh,
They probably will
I
anyway.
yeah, I just think it's a very anti-consumer move on Square. For PlayStation, obviously, it's a good move for PlayStation because now they have the unless you care about graphics like a lot, they have the premium experience. But for anyone else who's going to buy the game who doesn't own a PlayStation, it's anti-consumer because they're paying the same price as PlayStation and they're not getting the full experience. I think this one goes a little bit too far for me, as opposed to like some recent other ones where like timed exclusivity, like 30 days, like Destiny had. Or didn't PlayStation get everything first in Destiny? Like,
I think so, yeah.
yeah. But then you've been seeing that with COD, because didn't COD get like exclusive missions um, for the co-op mode? I forget what it's called. The Spec
The
Ops.
zombies? Oh,
Spec Ops.
I'm
They
like
had
I'm like I haven't been paying attention to Call of Duty since probably Black Ops 2. So
I recall COD getting its own Spec Op missions that never came to other platforms. And as a consumer who would pay $60 for this game, it would piss me off. Like emotes, I really don't give a shit about, and costumes, fine, whatever. But actually, things that affect the game and affect someone's experience, like someone may be a very big Spider-Man fan. As like you, I kind of don't give a shit about Spider-Man. I think he's a cool character. I like him. He's witty, but he's never been one of my favorites, and I never liked his play styles to begin with in games. So he's not someone that I would want to play as. But there's a lot of people, especially now since the Spider-Man movies are getting so big and hit with him being in the Avengers and all that stuff. I think it's a fucked up move, honestly. And Square should have not allowed that to happen. But, they got paid off. Uh, that's my take on it. And because of this move, first off, I'll be honest, I'm really not that interested in the Avengers game. It looks cool, but it's not like something I need to have on day one. It's not something that I'm waiting for. I honestly don't even know the release date. I just know it's soon. But it makes me less interested in the game. And if it does come out to be like this amazing game, it makes me want to wait for it to go on sale and buy it for sale, because if I'm not going to get the full game, I'm not going to pay full price.
No, I agree with you. So for those of you who don't know our history, Daniel and I used to play Marvel Heroes when that was actually a fucking game that you could play
Yeah,
on Steam. Yeah, it doesn't even exist anymore. But yeah, there was a point in time when we were playing Marvel Heroes like every fucking day. Like we were grinding out characters, and it was
searches.
Yeah, we were
That's a
grinding
different
out.
thing.
Yeah, we were grinding out Bing points to get in-game currency. It's totally legal, totally legit. Anyway, well, maybe that'll be an extra thing later. But my point was that we were playing that game because it was fun. It was kind of like Diablo-ish, like top-down, third-person isometric. But like you played your character. Each character had different abilities. Scarlet Witch op. Scarlet Witch super op. Yeah. But there was kind of a randomness to it, because you started out, you could choose, I think, you could choose to unlock one character out of a list of 10 to 15 or 20 initial starting characters, and then once you could grind to unlock more. And so that's what we were doing. Basically, we were grinding and unlocking more characters, and then you'd open up the character loot box where it gave you a random character. So you just hope it was somebody good. Like, fuck, I got Rocket Recruit.
Or someone you didn't already have.
Or yeah, exactly. If you got a duplicate, I don't remember what the system for that was, but I think it gave you a legendary scroll or something if you traded in.
Something
it's all irrelevant now because the game doesn't fucking exist. But my point is that it gave you a chance to play as these characters, and you could choose to play how you like. Whereas now, if Spider-Man is exclusive to Sony, somebody who's picking up the game on Xbox or PC is like, well, I want to play Spider-Man. Oh, fuck. I can't. And that's pretty jacked up in my opinion, because I mean, obviously we were willing to spend money on Marvel Heroes. Well, Bing Point money. But you get my point. It was better for the consumers, and this move by Square and Marvel and Sony is not good for the consumers. I agree. Long-winded tirade aside.
Oh, to bring up anti-consumer Sony, I just want, this is something I didn't bring up to you earlier, but it'll be fast. Okay. So Sony revealed that PS4 controllers will work. Oh, you already know about it on the PS5, but only for PS4 games.
Yep.
Because they have quote unquote new features. It's like tilt shit, and I remember reading what it was. I already forgot because that's how notable it is. It's bullshit. It's like it would be like maybe one or two games that use it just to be gimmicky, and every other standard fucking game is not going to use these stupid bullshit controls. And like I think that's just bullshit by Sony's part, and even I know exactly why they're doing it, because they can make money. That's, well, everyone knows why they're doing it. But the problem is, when I was reading the comments, a lot of people were saying like, new console, new controller makes sense. I'm like, no, it kind of doesn't. Like, just because it's a new console doesn't, and the fucking buttons are the same. It doesn't add anything like the Switch, where it's portable. It doesn't, and Xbox recognized that they're actually just releasing the same fucking controller with an improved D-pad. So I think that's, that's just the way Sony's going, because Sony knows that they can, and the gamers are so. I don't know why it's such a big trend to hate on Xbox, but it's just the cool thing to do, and anything Sony does is just, golden.
Well, so for me, that happens. I think it was like 2013 or 2014 when Microsoft initially announced the Xbox One. How you were like not going to be able to use used games, and like they were doing all of this fucked up bullshit. And then Sony had their presentation where it's like, "You want to lend a game to your friend?" And then like
I remember
literally
that,
hands him a copy of the game. That's how you do it on PlayStation. And I was like, all right, I can get with Sony on this. But I mean, I feel like in the time since that happened, it's basically gone back, because Microsoft reverted all of those changes they were going to make because of the backlash and the outcry. And Sony like doesn't have the gamers' best interest in heart, you know? And the thing with the controller is, like, I read that and I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, so you're gonna get a PS5 and you have your PS4 controller, and like, well, I gotta make sure I grab the right controller to turn on the fucking system, and then I gotta make sure if I'm gonna actually play a game, I am using the right fucking controller, because otherwise I'll only be able to fucking navigate to Netflix or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I don't mind so much grabbing the right controller like that, but it's like, how many games are actually couch co-op nowadays? So you're really
Battletoads.
well, that's Xbox. You can use your old controllers.
Anyway, go ahead.
Like, so you have to buy all these new controllers for like no games, and they're not cheap. They're fucking expensive as control. Well, they haven't revealed the price, but let's just say it's the same, which it probably will be. Isn't it like $60?
Yeah, yeah.
You
I
know,
remember I bought a controller for Scott for his birthday one time, so we could play Diablo 4 couch co-op,
that's
or
180.
Diablo 3,
Like,
whatever. But yeah,
they're already buying your console. Like, calm the fuck down. Your games, like, calm the fuck down. Just like let them use something that they already have.
you know
And
what?
then,
Go
oh,
ahead.
well, I was gonna say, and they have rechargeable batteries in them. So once their batteries fucking burned out, they have to buy a new one anyway. So it's not like they're not gonna be buying another one.
Right. I was gonna say, if they're gonna do some kind of like, would you say new hardware that's in the controllers? Like, couldn't they just add some sort of add-on to the controller that adopts those features? Kind of like how, you know, in a Microsoft controller they added the little keyboard dongle on the bottom, and
I
like
wouldn't
all
want
the.
that personally.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, if it's Sony who's the one who's trying to say that gamers want these new hardware features or whatever, then you know they could just do something like that, because that would, the cost would be less than a new controller, I'd imagine.
I don't think anyone was demanding like motion controls or whatever on a PlayStation controller.
I mean, was it?
I get what you're saying. I
Mhm.
just I don't like that makes your controller bulky, and
But if they're gonna
I
implement, if they're only gonna be limited games that actually feature these features, then you know, wouldn't just attaching some bullshit for, let's say, you know, a $20, $30 attachment versus $60 another controller, like, wouldn't that make more sense just to do it for the game that supports it? Then like, all right, cool, I can take it off and I can resume play on the rest of my games with the controller that I already fucking have.
it might. I don't know. I haven't thought about it that far. But I don't think any game's gonna use it, so I don't think it's relevant.
Well, then see, that just shows that Sony's
Yeah.
fucking up. Like, you know, they
No,
shouldn't
I
make.
that's my stance.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
That's,
yeah.
that'd be like I guess how you said. I guess one or two games, yeah. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll
It's
see.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking
All
Sony.
right. Next topic, Xbox. So Xbox, there was a rumor going around because Xbox stopped selling their year subscription to Xbox Live, and then they actually went through their terms of service and took out Xbox Live in their terms of service. So there was a big speculation that they're going to go. Oh, and some game devs in the industry, or some industry people were saying that Xbox Live was going to go free. So Microsoft finally responds saying that that's not their plan, and they're going to continue the way things are going. I personally, I guess I'll go first this time. I personally don't believe them. I would have believed them if it was purely speculation from people outside the industry. But if people in the industry is saying that that's how they're going, I think maybe they're just trying to sell more Xbox Live before they cut it off. And I think that would be stupid as hell, because now you're basically artificially increasing the price of your online platform by, I think it was what, like $30 for 3 months. When we used to play back in the day, it was like $30 for 3 months and then $60 for the year.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're changing it from 60 to 120. That's a huge increase. That's a game a year.
That's like Amazon Prime membership. Jesus.
So I personally don't see a double in price for Xbox Live, but if they do, that's fucking dumb. They're already the underdog right now. They need to not be doing stupid shit to allow Sony to capitalize on it. But it just doesn't make sense to me that they would do that. So that doesn't make sense. And then the fact, coupled with the industries going on and the fact that they're going towards Game Pass rather than like sell, I guess that's their model, their subscription Game Pass model. I can see Game Pass being able to support Xbox Live. So that's why they would bring in people who don't want to pay a subscription, because you have another subscription model that can support, and maybe it would get people to buy the console and then try out Game Pass, see, oh, this is awesome, this is worth paying for it, and kind of be like a have a little drug here, then come back for more. Your first one's free.
You got to get their fix. Yeah.
Yeah. That's my take on it.
So I don't really know, because I'm only hearing it from what you're telling me. I haven't really read into it or whatever. But
yeah,
it's, if that is true, then yeah, it's extreme bullshit. Because isn't like the basic online on Sony free? Like, hasn't that always been like one of its tenets?
No,
like,
I think 4 actually made it pay. I believe both, or all of them now, because Switch you have to pay too. So I think every single console is a paid service.
Well, so then what's PlayStation Plus? Like, is it like
That's a paid
Xbox games
service
with gold or whatever? Like,
yeah, PlayStation Plus is like Xbox Live Gold.
okay, so it's like a premium version of the paid service.
It is the paid service.
Okay, well then yeah, I'm totally confused. But anyway, my point being is that yeah, it is really dumb that they're gonna kind of alienate their customer base if they raise the price. And if the thing you're talking about where they're waiting to announce or whatever so that they can get increased numbers and inflated numbers, that's going to bite them in the ass, because all those customers are going to fucking demand refunds, I bet. And so, initially you might have a pretty high number, but then the fucking refunds is going to like drop that shit back down.
Well,
There are people that are going to be like lazy and I was like, fuck it, I got charged double, I don't care or whatever. And so they're still going to, there's always people that are just kind of wishy-washy about it, and they don't like do anything about it. But the hardcore fans and stuff are going to be like, yeah, fuck this, what the hell.
Well, I think if they switch over and they have overlapping subscriptions, they'll probably be like, okay, for all of you who have like a few months left, we'll let you just do the Game Pass for those few months. So maybe they're cutting off that so people don't buy a year right now, and then when they announce it in November and they swap over, now they have 9 months of fucking Game Pass for free.
I mean, if they did something like that, then yeah, I guess. But it still just seems kind of crappy.
We shall see. I think it's going to go free personally, and then with Halo free to play.
Yeah, we discussed the Halo free to play thing before, but yeah, that's probably the best move that they could make.
Yeah, so having it on a free platform like all around, I think it's the smart way to go.
Yeah, I mean, look how well it's worked out for Apex.
Yeah. Next thing I have here, the PlayStation. PlayStation had, I forgot what they call them, state of play. They call it state of play.
Yeah.
That's what it
It's like
was.
their little mini conference or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
So they showed off a few games. Some of them I really didn't care about, and like I caught it towards the end, so I watched the whole thing. And the ones that really didn't care about, I just pressed skip, skip, skip. 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds.
Nice.
um, the ones that did catch my eye, the first which was they actually started pretty strong in my opinion, and then they got weak. Was Crash 4. They're showing off a little gameplay of Crash 4. I know it's been announced for a while, but I thought it looked pretty cool. I like the art style that it was going with. The graphics were pretty good. Granted, you probably could do those graphics on a modern console because Crash is a 2D side scroller. But I thought it was pretty legit. Then I started thinking about it a little bit. We haven't had a real Crash game since PS1 because Crash
No
3 was on
way.
PS1.
No way.
Yeah, I think
No
so.
way. No
What
fucking
was Crash
way.
3 on?
I don't know, but that seems absolutely ridiculous because there's been a PS2, a PS3, and a PS4, and there hasn't been a Crash game. I would say, just if I was betting money, I would say PS2.
Because wasn't Warped 3?
I don't know, like honestly, I haven't followed the series, but I just, to me, that just seems ridiculous. Like since PlayStation 1, if that's true, which I'm not saying it isn't, I'm just saying it seems ridiculous. If that's true, then that is like fucking mind-boggling. Like, I
Crash
thought
Bandicoot 3
2020 was,
Warped, 1998.
wow.
PlayStation
Wow.
3.
Wait,
I mean,
PlayStation
PlayStation.
3?
I'm sorry, not PlayStation 3. PlayStation 1. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you
I'm
can't really
like,
see it on the screen,
yeah,
but
right. I'm like, like PlayStation 3.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Forgive me. But
So,
anywho,
but okay, but so that you're talking about the mainline Crash series, though, right? Because there
yeah, yeah,
had the like Crash Team Racing and
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
other
They
kind
had
of.
Team Racing. I remember that, but I don't remember a side scroller. Was there a side scroller in between?
I, I mean, you're the one who looked it up. If there was nothing there, then there's nothing there. But I
Well, I
just
just
feel
looked up
like,
Crash 3 because this is Crash 4.
oh,
So,
well, you should have just looked up the chronological order of the Crash series. But anyway, that's just crazy. But good, getting back to what you're saying.
well, just that we haven't had a numbered Crash Bandicoot since the PS4. A PS. God damn it.
Good times in the podcast. We haven't had a numbered Crash game
Oh,
since
there
the
was
original
Wrath of
PlayStation.
Cortex was on PS2.
Okay.
I lied. I lied.
See, that makes sense to me because I was thinking, like, holy shit, there's been 3 PlayStation consoles since then, and there's not been a Crash game. Like, to me, PS2 seemed like the likely one because that was the one
Yeah.
that did a lot and sold a lot and everything. So,
So yeah, but still, like they skipped a whole generation of Crash.
well, 2 generations, I guess, if you're looking at PS3, PS4.
Well, this one comes out on Halloween, so technically it's still
Oh, it's going to be PS4. Okay.
yeah,
Well, then, yeah, a
which
whole
makes sense that the
generation.
graphics can like other comments. Anywho,
Yeah.
um, I thought it looked cool. I was never really a Crash fan, but I never disliked Crash. I just never got into it. I I think it'll sell well. I don't think it'll be a killer app by any means, but I just saw that and I thought it was neat that they're coming out known.
It is kind of neat. I remember back in the day when he was like a huge thing. Like Crash Bandicoot was like Sony's mascot, and
Yeah,
as our little debate just unfolded or whatever, our little discussion, like he kind of realized that it's almost like he's falling out of favor because why the hell wasn't he on PlayStation 3 or whatever? I think they would be
yeah,
like pushing for a launch title at least for like every console. In this case, I mean, so is the PS5? It's going to be backwards compatible.
yeah.
Okay, so then technically, Crash is still gonna. It's not gonna be a launch title, but you'll be able to play it on
Play it on
PS5.
PS5, right?
Yeah. So I mean, the fact that they didn't do that with the PS3 or even PS4 to begin with is just crazy. Just really, really crazy to me.
And yeah, and like didn't PS4 or not? Yeah, well, I know PS4 had 7 years. Didn't PS3 have like a long ass life?
I don't know. Because it's weird, like the time span of consoles. Because some of
Because they
them's
used to be
like
5 years, but it seems like they're getting longer now. I think the last two were longer, so it would have been like over a decade of no Crash.
I wonder what went on during that time. I mean, because Naughty Dog is Crash developers or whatever, and so
Yeah,
they're probably working on the Uncharted series,
right.
and then that's always sold really well. So maybe that's what it was. Like they just were like, Crash will be around when we need him.
I guess
Good
I think
old reliable Crash.
it's kind of like Microsoft not doing Halo like they've been doing. It's kind of weird to me because I remember growing up and the mascots for a PlayStation were Spyro, Crash, and Sweet Tooth,
Yep.
and none of them are around now. Really?
I think they were. When did they release a Twisted Metal not that long ago? I know they did Twisted Metal Black.
That's the last one I remember, but
I think
I
there
could
was
be
one
wrong.
after that, but yeah, it's
I
definitely
think you're
not,
right, but
it's
it's not
definitely
like
not as mainstream or whatever as it was, or at
yeah.
least it feels like it isn't. But
Times
yeah,
changing now. It's all about the Fortnite.
dude, what if they did like a Fortnite Twisted Metal crossover? Like you could like a fucking Sweet Tooth skin running around like chopping people up with the pickaxe or whatever.
That'd be funny.
Or they add cars to Fortnite and it's like the Twisted Metal cars and shit.
Axel,
That'd be crazy.
just get it
Yeah,
like that.
freaking Spectre and
Yeah.
good stuff.
So the next game actually was probably my favorite game from the thing, from their presentation, and it was Hitman, and it showed that it was completely playable in VR, and it ended on you sneaking up behind, or Agent 47 sneaking up behind on someone, and you had the rope in your hand, you're about to choke them out, and I think that's where it cut off, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It made me a little sad because it's a PSVR, and it's like, how come no one? Well, I don't know if it's exclusive to the PSVR because Hitman is a PC series, so I know it was on PlayStation as well, but it's mainly like kind
It's
of
on
like Tomb Raider.
Xbox also.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like Tomb Raider also was on PlayStation, but it was mainly a PC thing before the reboots.
Tomb Raider originated on PlayStation, but
Did it?
yeah,
I know it's on PC.
Tomb Raider was a PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah, I know, but it was a PC game as well.
Well, I would argue that it originated on PlayStation and then went to PC. I can't state with fact, but
I thought it was the other way around
I feel like that's what happened. But
because it was on the N-Gage too. I don't think PlayStation would have given anything to N-Gage considering they had the Vita and the
fucking
PSP.
N-Gage, like we need to put that meme of Star Wars or whatever. That's
Dude,
a
I fucking
meme
love my
haven't heard
N-Gage.
in a very long time.
I had that game on N-Gage, so that's how I know.
Fucking N-Gage, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. So that's why I don't think it was a PlayStation property. But then they also had Pandemonium on there too, so maybe it was.
Anyway, we're getting off track.
Yeah.
The main point.
Anywho,
Yeah.
it may be on PC, but it made me sad because I feel like we haven't really gotten a real AAA game on PC VR. And then we never got the Resident Evil VR.
Wait, there was a Resident Evil VR?
The last Resident Evil was VR.
Oh,
on PlayStation.
7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. Interesting.
So I don't know. It was cool to see. I'm just disappointed that I may not experience it. I'm not buying a PlayStation for that. Because then you have to buy the fucking headset too.
Which, if the 5 is the model, then you're gonna have to buy new fucking PlayStation 5
Yeah, no,
VR
it is.
headsets and stuff. Yeah,
It's the new VR. It's VR2. So I'm not
Yeah.
spending like $800 to play Hitman.
no, fuck
Not
that,
even getting the
especially
game yet.
especially when we already have VR stuff. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's ridiculous. But if it does come to PC, then that's awesome because I cannot wait to play as Agent 47 in VR if I'm able to, because that
Yeah.
would be fun as shit. I hope they include the homing briefcase. Do you know about that?
No, I don't.
Oh my god. Okay. So in the last Hitman game, I think it was Hitman 2 or whatever, like
Yeah,
you know,
the
reboots.
second two. Yeah.
Yeah, the reboot or whatever, like
Hitman 2 too.
2017 or 18 or whenever it came out, or maybe it was Absolution 2. And regardless, the last Hitman game,
Yeah.
there was a update to the game that caused the briefcase to home after characters when they would like walk away or they'd walk around corners. The briefcase would fucking home after them. Like the hitman would throw it and it would fucking chase them and hit them and it would fucking kill them. Like just badass. And then Eidos or whoever, Square Enix, whoever developed, I think it's Eidos. They
Yeah, Crystal Dynamics, I
they
think.
realized that it was a bug, and so they removed it. And fucking players were pissed. They're like, "Where's the? I want to fucking kill people with the briefcase. This is bullshit." And so they put it back into the game as an actual item. Like I think it's called like Agent 47 Special or something. And like, yeah, sure enough, you can fucking go around and throwing briefcase at people, and it flies around corners and hits them, and it's fucking crazy. And so you
That's
can do
really
that in
cool.
VR, like around corners and stuff. That'd be awesome, dude.
That's legit.
Right?
Next game that they showed that I was interested in was Hood. That one's multi-plat, but
It's called Hood: Outlaws and Legends.
yeah, I always think of other stuff when I think of Hood.
It's kind of like set in the Robin Hood era. So if that helps you visualize it, if for those of us or those of you who are listening. Yeah.
They showed like a group of four thieves try to steal some treasure, or they killed all the guards. They are about to steal the treasure, and then it kind of ends when there's a different group of four thieves that are kind of like planning their attack on them. From a tweet, it's a PvPvE game, and I just think it looks pretty cool. I think that style of game's fun. You have to be on guard at all times and get ready to be griefed or grief. I think it'll be fun. I'm interested. Not gonna say I'm gonna buy it because I haven't seen the gameplay, but it looks cool.
It seems it reminded me of a little bit of Hunt Showdown with the PvPvE thing. But you mentioned it's more like Sea of Thieves, kind of, you know.
Well, that's my guess because
Well, yeah, because we haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
But just based on the reveal trailer, like it also sort of gives me like a little bit of like Splinter Cell Blacklist vibe, because you know you had the characters who, the mercs or whatever, who were walking around, and then you had the spies like trying to stay in the shadows and be hidden, and you know use their technology to take them out and stuff. And so in this one, it showed, you know, the second group of thieves had like a bow with a, I don't know, some sort of magic arrow, and then there's like the two barbarian classes or whatever it's gonna be, crusader, hunter, whatever the fuck they're gonna call the big bulky, you know, guy that has a fucking sledgehammer.
Your melee tank dude.
Yeah, exactly. They had them like running at each other and colliding, and you know, like I think it'd be interesting to see what the kind of tactics are. Like, would you? That's, I don't even think that's a, like, that's not a matchup I would want to go against. I mean, it might be fun to have these two big burly guys go against each other, but I think it might make more sense to try to have range take them down or something.
But you would need the big burly guy to, if I don't, you know, this is obviously just theorycraft.
Right.
If it's, and it looks like they will have spells and stuff based on the arrow that you're talking about. You would probably need the big burly man to create distance so that you can be effective with the bow. Because if you didn't have that wall, then they would just come and.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about like just having the two burly guys go against each other. Like, I don't know, like to me, if I was the burly guy, I would obviously try to go for the squishier characters. And...
Right, but then you would probably leave your squishies open. So it's kind of like you kind of had to, I don't know, theorycraft again. You probably have to allow, and this is just overcraft crafting as well. Your job would be maybe to allow your squishies to do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And create space.
I get it. It's just, I don't know. That part of it with the two big burly guys didn't like appeal to me. I'm like,
who knows? It's probably just different classes, and you know they may try to make everything viable, and just like this is weak to that, and like if you're a ranger, for lack of a better term, your job is probably to zone, and you have to be smart enough to zone out your melee characters, and the melee characters will need to find a way to. So maybe everything's viable, and I'm just making it more complicated than what it is.
I remember watch the developers are like, "Oh, these are good ideas," and they're like taking notes. Like, damn, that's fucking great. No melee on melee, yeah, but no, it would be funny as shit if we were playing though. And since there's like, you know, the environment, aka like, you know, random NPCs or whatever, like the bad guys that are guarding the treasure, it'd be funny as shit if like the player groups are like fighting each other, and then fucking NPCs just run up and kill everybody. It's like, oh shit, these guys are fighting, grenade.
That would be pretty cool.
Or I guess in those times it'd be more like a Molotov cocktail or something. But anyway, yeah, it looked cool. Hopefully we'll hear more about it, and it doesn't end up being like some canceled game that we never get a chance to play, like Scalebound. Scalebound.
Yeah. It'd be cool since it's on everything. Make cross-platform. but we'll see.
Yeah, nice.
Next game that caught my eye was Tim or Temtem. I think I'm saying it right.
I think it's
So
Temtem, yeah.
for you guys who don't know, it is a fan made Pokemon. That's a fan made spiritual successor to Pokemon that is online. So a bunch of fans got pissed off that Nintendo never made Pokemon Online, and when the fan made Pokemon Online, they shut it down because remember Pokemon Online was a thing. And so they went in there and they made a Pokemon S game that doesn't have Pokemon in it, but has creatures and shit. Like it's pretty much Pokemon, but online. So I don't know if that's gonna really put PlayStation over the top. I don't think it is personally, but I do think it is huge in a sense because they're pretty much taking Pokemon away from Pokemon. But Pokemon has such like the actual Pokemon has such a name that I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people know about it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like true Pokemon fans will probably be like, "Oh shit, that's on there," and they'll buy a PlayStation for it. But people who casually buy like the Pokemon games because Nintendo throws them out every now and then wouldn't even know what Temtem is.
They might if they just did like a Googled online Pokemon. I'm sure Temtem probably brought up all the SEO for that, you know. So it's everything's gonna redirect to their shit. But I agree with you. Like Pokemon has a huge like installed fan base or whatever, and they're not just. It's almost like they're throwing away all of the progress that they've made throughout the years in Pokemon to switch to Temtem, and if you and I are like, say I'm playing it and you're not, like, hey, come play Temtem. And you're like, well, maybe, it's like, why don't we just play Pokemon instead? Because we both have Switches and Pokemon.
And Pokemon has a competitive scene, so that's how people would play it. Like it'd be online. The online Pokemon kind of seems more like or an MMO, for more casual Pokemon fans. While
Mm.
the actual really competitive people would probably stay to traditional Pokemon on the Switch, where you can do the ladders and the towers and do the online tournaments and stuff. I think it's a great idea. I was really shocked to see them have it. And I think there's that cult following that does want the online Pokemon, but I don't think it's going to draw in a lot of people from like, people buy their kids Pokemon. Those kids don't know about Temtem. like
True.
I, like I think there's a lot of people who would enjoy it but don't know what it is, and that's why I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think it's going to be a big deal for a certain group of people.
It's like the great value Pokemon, but with online.
But I think that's a big deal having online Pokemon.
No, I know. I'm not saying that, but
Yeah,
but what I mean is like in terms of like what you're saying with the name, the brand recognition and the name value is that it's like the number one regular brand and then great value is
yeah.
like Pokemon and Temtem,
Oh, okay, you're
but
saying brand recognition. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I get it.
exactly. But it's like saying, hey, it's great value Pokemon, but it also has online play, so maybe it's not great value. Maybe
MMO
it's
esque online play.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
maybe it's something more. But I don't think it's going to be a game changer that
yeah,
PlayStation has it. But it's cool to see that at least they're acknowledging things outside of I guess their usual pickups, if that makes
yeah.
sense. So
I agree. The last game that brought my attention or that caught my eye was Godfall. So they showed some gameplay, they showed some combos, they showed some different weapons. Um, I believe this game's going to be on PC as well. It's not a PS4, PS5 exclusive. I thought the game looked good. I don't see it being a killer app. It, for me, that game type of game kind of has like been there, done that. It's a melee combat style knights. Um,
sci-fi, is it sci-fi?
no, it looked very
It's by Gearbox, and so to me there's a little bit of a Borderlands-ish hint to it, like maybe just a little bit.
mm, I didn't
But
catch it.
Well, but I also I told you the first thing that came to mind was Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning, which was a game that Kurt Schilling, a former Major League Baseball player, he's created a game studio, and like basically they put out Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning, and while it has decent reviews, it's like rated positively. It didn't sell for shit, and because of that, the company went bankrupt. 38 Studios or whatever the game company created. So it reminds me sort of that game, but the fact that it's only single player, I'm not really that interested in it, to be honest. I don't play many single player games that much anymore, so I
It
don't know.
looks like it's going to be good. It doesn't look like great anything groundbreaking or unique. Yeah, it's gonna sell well though. I think just
Probably,
because there's a market for that type of game.
yeah, because the amount of people that do play single player games is still viable.
Yeah. All right, and then I think you had some topics you want to talk about. I'm done on my list.
Well, so I had saw an article saying that the new update for Red Dead Redemption 2 Online, or whatever Red Dead Online as it's being called, apparently broke the horses. Everyone's horses no longer respond to whistles when they're called, and I saw clips of the horses. Basically, they're riding on their horse, and then it like glitches up into the air, and then it falls over, and there are like players on the ground, and just like a bunch of random dumb things with the horses. And somebody on Reddit was had created a conspiracy theory that Rockstar intentionally borked the horses so that they could make you implement like new items to train your horse and make them smarter again or whatever, but you have to grind out and pay the in-game currency to, you know, get your horse back to normal. And like it's way over the top. That's super like funny and hilarious because it's like, oh yeah, they broke the horses and now you have to pay to fix them. But like you have to remember, it's fucking Rockstar. Like they make their money off microtransactions. Like GTA Online has been around for years and years and years.
Wasn't it on the PS3? It came out.
GTA Online?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Didn't they? Because I remember it was a big deal that GTA 5 didn't come out for PC, and then it came out for PC when they released the new consoles, so
That
they can do the revamp, and they
yeah,
resold it.
yeah, that sounds about right actually. GTA 4 was the start of that. But yeah, I mean, so the thing that made me think about it, and like I told you, we briefly discussed this off recording as well, but the thing that made me that came to mind was other games that basically got broken by an update. And so this is what I wanted to get your just kind of initial reaction on camera was, do you remember when we played The Division, like the first one, The Division, pretty
Okay.
regularly, and they introduced the incursions,
I remember the incursions. Yeah.
like Falcon Lost, like the first one or whatever, where we,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
one where you had to do the APCs.
yeah, and you had to,
Yeah.
you know, do all the, and then you have to go and plant the bombs at the end, and people have to try to guard you, and there's
Right,
all
right.
the,
I remember
yeah.
that.
And do you remember that as part of the update, there was a glitch where people were basically climbing infinite ladders like into the sky, and they broke the raid. Basically, they could complete the raid without actually doing it, get into it without actually spawning any enemies, and grab the loot. And then not only that, but it would register that they hadn't actually got the loot, so they could do it over and over and
I do
over.
remember that because that was bullshit. Because the people who actually did it right could only get one piece of the high level gear a week. I'm sorry, and because the people didn't register, they just kept grinding it. So they eventually had the highest level gear like day two, while everyone had one piece, and they would fucking wreck people in the dark zone.
Yes,
Yes, I
yes,
do
okay.
remember that. That brings up a very like, yeah,
Yes, awesome. Okay, good. That's the reaction I was expecting. And yes, that's
yeah.
what I wanted. Because basically, yeah, like these people were cheating or abusing a glitch and got all the highest tier, highest level shit. And then, like he said, they were just wrecking people in the dark zone.
And if you did
And
it legitly, you'd only have one piece, and you wouldn't even like maybe not even get the fucking piece you wanted. It would be some bullshit ass set. Like that
like
was so
back
fucking
when
bullshit.
yeah, back when I wanted to get Striker, and I don't know if you were doing
I
Lone
did my medic
Star.
build
Okay.
that just
Yeah.
like where I could sit on my heels.
Yeah, and so like, you know, we were grinding out specific pieces of gear, And it's like, oh, we did the raid. We actually, well, somehow we managed to beat the raid a few times, but the times that we were actually able to do it, it's like, cool, I got some shit that I don't want and probably will never use. Great. Whereas these
Yeah.
guys are just like, all right, we did it, we did it, we did it. I have 1,700 of everything. What the fuck?
And I already min-maxed.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
And because I have infinite crafting materials, infinite money, because I can break all this shit down, I can sell all this shit. It basically ruined the game for a while, and it took a long time for for it to recover. Because eventually, Massive and Ubisoft went in and patched that. They fixed it. They realized it was a fucking exploit, and they got rid of it. But for the time that it was live, ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so well, go ahead.
I'm saying I just think I fucked it until they raised the gear score limit. Because
Yeah,
like no one was able to catch up.
At least until then. And so I'm trying to think, do you know of any other sort of like bugs or glitches that happened where it just basically broke the game? Like to me, the Division was the one that came to mind.
Well, at first I actually didn't think you were going to bring that up when you said the Division. I thought you were going to bring up the mobile cover.
Oh shit! Okay, go there. Yeah, go there. Do that shit. Fucking A.
So there was a mission in that you can grind the boss in the Division, and it's kind of a loop where you start or you end where you start. So you would have to go around this whole map, and then you would eventually come out, and then you would fight the boss, and that's it. People found out that if you use this ability, which put down some cover wherever you wanted to put it, you can put it by the door that you're supposed to come out of at the very end. Use it to hop into the door. So now you're on the other side. Just walk up and then walk back to trigger the end cuts, like end NPCs to come in. So now they'll blast down the door and the end sequence actually starts. So you can do a whole mission in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, so you're basically like grinding the boss out super fast, whereas before it would take, I don't know, between 20 and 30 minutes to do the mission. It reduced it to like 5 minutes or less. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking mobile cover.
God damn it. I know. So if you're familiar with the Division, you know how obviously it's like a looter shooter, whatever. And it's very important to get gear, as we were discussing the whole raid thing. And so this was like fucking crazy that first of all that somebody thought of this, because in order to do it you have to deploy the cover, like you said, kind of like between the doors. You have to take cover on it, and you have to kind of like do the roll or whatever, and you have to do it in the right way so that you somehow push off of like the cover and an invisible wall, and you get glitched into the instance basically. And then the same thing with getting out, you had to take cover back on it and then glitch your way back out. So it wasn't like as straightforward as say the climbing up an invisible ladder or down an invisible ladder into the raid, but still it's like fucking nuts that people, like, oh, I'm gonna put this here, I'm gonna try to, oh god, I made it in, and then suddenly it blows up because hey, they show their friends tell their friends, it goes on YouTube.
Yeah,
but I had completely forgot about that.
I think that's my favorite like glitch by them, not because I did it, but because the memes that came up, like that Link meme is so good.
You gotta try to find that and put it
like, put it on the video.
Yeah, it's so great. Oh man, we should describe it for the Spotify people.
I don't remember it. I think he threw a bomb and then like jumped
started
off,
surfing on it or something. Yeah.
Like I don't fully remember it, but I just remember like loving it.
It was pretty fucking awesome. Yeah. Super good. Oh shit, that's good times.
That game was broken.
Yeah, god man, the fucking Division, like we probably experienced every single emotion with that game. We spent so much time fucking playing it. Like you were a fan of the Dark Zone until it got borked. I never really liked the Dark Zone, but because of shit like that. But we spent a lot of time playing that game, and yeah, we deserve better.
Yeah. It sucks that we had like in Division 2, we still haven't gone back and played the expansions that they've already released. I think we played one, but there's like 3 more.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had to buy the New York one or whatever, right?
Right, but we still haven't done the ones that we bought with the season, or played with the ones that came with the season pass.
Yeah, well, Soon enough, maybe.
Eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get
I
there.
am interested in the New York one. I do want to know what happened to Keener.
Yeah, same. We'll fucking
Yeah.
put a bullet between that asshole's face.
Yeah.
That was like one of the most unresolved things that I have ever played in a video game, where it's like they spend the whole time building up this bad guy, and then like, oh, you'll get to fight him in the next game. And fucking Division 2 comes out, and it's like, nah, he's not even there, bro.
Yeah, I don't even think they might mention him like in one of those video things that you walk by, but I don't even think he's part of the main story at all.
Yeah, like I remember
Yeah.
playing it, and I'm like, where's Keener? Like that's the guy I give a shit about. What the hell's all this nonsense?
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's probably why they saved him, because everyone's like, "Fuck, we finally get to finish the first game."
like 3 years, and an extra $60 to $80 later. Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it, fucking Ubisoft. Fix your shit. Remember
Pretty much.
that?
Well, yeah, they still haven't yet. But they say they're working on it. Now they need to fix like their harassment and shit.
Hey, but we also got Watch Dogs 2 for free, so it's whatevs. That makes
All
it
right,
all
I don't
right.
have anything else. So
Yeah, no, we're probably good. We're running close to an hour, depending on how the edit goes. So yeah, I'm cool with calling it here. So for
all
this
right, so,
episode, I've been Matthew,
and I've been Daniel.
and we'll see you guys next time. If you're not already, don't forget to check us out on Spotify, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, laters.
Bye.